I realized that I didn't follow Chief Swan's order to immediately bring him in and start having him shadow me. Trying to juggle the tremendous amount of work that we had going on, and this basically was an interruption to what we were trying to do.
Now more on our ongoing investigation into why the Nashville Fire Department terminated Fire Marshal Al Thomas.
Yeah, News4 Investigates was the first to break this story last night at 10. Carice Jackman got the audio recording from a hearing earlier this month where Thomas defended himself. She is live with us in the studio.
That's right, Carly. Through several public records requests, I got my hands on the hour-long recording from a December 15th hearing before a panel where Thomas told his side of the story.
I've been with the fire department for 42 years, and I consider it an honor and a privilege to be the fire marshal for the city.
In his own words, now former Nashville Fire Marshal Allison Thomas defended himself at a department hearing.
This October, I was instructed by Chief Swan to let Captain Lawrence Hutchison shadow me for 6 months. I've never had anyone shadow me in the past, and it was very new to me.
Last night, Fire Chief William Swan terminated Al Thomas. In a letter obtained by News4 Investigates, it states the fire marshal's office was the only area within the department that was, quote, lacking a succession plan. But that Fire Marshal Thomas became combative when it was announced that Captain Lawrence Hutchison would temporarily be reassigned to the fire marshal's office to shadow Thomas for a 6-month period. The letter says, quote, since Chief Swan ordered the reassignment of Captain Hutchison to the Fire Marshal's office, you have been insubordinate to Chief Swan and Chief Henderson. You were insubordinate on numerous occasions within the department.
I realized that I didn't follow Chief Swan's order to immediately bring him in and start having him shadow me. Trying to juggle the tremendous amount of work that we had going on, and this basically was an interruption to what we were trying to do.
The letter went on to say, there have been several issues in your role as the fire marshal regarding your attitude towards and treatment of staff, lack of response to emails, and the length of time it took to finalize a project.
I was never, ever intended to be disrespectful in any way.
Thomas also stated in the hearing that he believed someone else was qualified for the role of fire marshal if and when he chose to leave the position.
To be honest, I initially did not believe that Captain Hutchison was the most qualified person to ultimately take over my job because I had no intention of retiring anytime soon. And that Deputy Fire Marshal Maggie Lawrence was ideal for the position. I voiced my opinion to Chief Swan, and I continue to hold true to this belief. However, the decision of who ultimately takes my place is not mine, but it's the chief's.
In the end, the chief stated Thomas's attitude towards superiors when given direction and the treatment towards staff did not meet the acceptable standards. Now, Thomas's attorney provided News4 Investigates with a statement today saying, quote, after more than 4 decades of dedicating himself to the city and building strong relationships with his amazing staff and the people of Nashville, Mr. Thomas is extremely disappointed in the chief's decision to terminate his employment as the fire marshal. After excellent evaluations and no written warnings, he was fired after he told the chief that certain individuals were significantly more qualified to take over for him in years to come than the person the chief wanted. Ironically, one of those individuals is a woman who is currently running the day-to-day operations of the fire marshal's office. Chris?
All right, and so, Carice, I know you're sifting through all those documents right now, but is there anything in those records that indicate Thomas was being combative at all with Captain Hutchison?
Actually, Chris, there was at least one email. On November 17th, Captain Hutchison, who again was supposed to be shadowing Thomas, noted that the fire marshal was raising his voice and his actions were horribly unprofessional, even saying at one point in the email that Thomas said, I quote, am the fire marshal, you work for me. Chris?
All right, and you came in last night to break this story first. How did you find out about this information?
Yeah, Chris, well, actually, it came through a tip that the fire marshal was being investigated, and that when News4 Investigators started working for you, of course, to get to the bottom of it, that's when we filed multiple open records requests with the fire department and Metro HR. And we tried talking to the fire department on camera today, but they would not give us any more information other than what they gave us in these documents. And again, we have a stack of information we still have to go through, and once we uncover more, of course, we will bring that to you. Carly?